Who's on top?
And welcome back to episode 49 of Who's on Top. I'm your host, Ori, and I'm in a noisy area today. So I apologize for any inconveniences. My fellow students here do not have to appreciate for Watt's greatness. But let's start off. It's episode 49, and I'd like to remind all of you that you should like and subscribe to our podcast. My friend Ellis Gordon here is forcing me. He says he won't send me any more Cheerios if I don't tell you to say this. So, also he says leave a review or you'll kill my puppy. Ellis, that's quite rude of you. But speaking of Ellis Gordon, there's Ellis Gordon. Oh, turn off your notifications for the pod. You know, we have the corporate sellout, Ellis Gordon. Ellis.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I do all that stuff that Ori said.
Hey, he's also out of quarantine. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you very much. Corona free. And I don't know for a rhyme, but yeah, corona free.
Corona free since '83.
No, Corona-free new me. I'd go with that. And speaking out of turn, as he usually does, we got defensive captain Jeremy Josh.
Hello, at your service.
And chilling in Syracuse, we got the Frisbro Jacob Kasdan.
What's up, guys? Let's talk some sports.
And finally, in Ithaca, chasing them shotties, we got Daniel Fox.
Hey, happy to be here.
Dale, senor. And we have a great Super Bowl reaction episode planned for you. The Super Bowl, that little known game. Fun fact: 100 million Americans watch the Super Bowl. You guys know how many people watch the World Cup? 1.1 billion people. I mean, just an interesting statistic to compare which one is the better football. But hey, the Super Bowl ended pretty nice. Me and Daniel were very happy at the end of the day that the Michigan product, Tom Brady, ended up winning his 7th Super Bowl. He is now 7-3. We just wanted to capture a little bit of reaction. So I'm going to let Daniel have his 2-minute rant of vindication.
1 minute's enough.
Thank you, Ori. I thought I was going to be here, roasting everybody, not being humble whatsoever. But I want to first issue some apologies. And I bet you didn't think that. First, I'm going to apologize to Bruce Arians. He showed up. I called him a drunk. Is he a drunk? But he's a great coach. He put it together. He deserves everything he got.
I'm so
going to apologize to the second.
Dan, where is
I'm going to apologize to the second.
Yeah. Okay, Dad.
I'm going to apologize to the secondary, who I was scared of all season, who I was very critical of. They came to play, especially Carlton Davis. He shut down Michael Thomas. He shut down Devontae Adams for the most part, as much as anybody can. And he shut down Tyreek Hill for the most part. So I give a lot of credit to him. Murphy Bunting was terrific. Jamel Dean was terrific. And Winfield Jr. is as good as it gets in the safety position. He is going to have a great career. And the defense in general, Shaq Barrett, he had a bit of a down season, but he pulled up when it mattered most. Levante David and Devin White, particularly Levante David against Travis Kelce, was phenomenal. But I can't be humble the entire time. So let's talk about Tom Brady. Let's talk about your guys' pick. He can't compete with Drew Brees. Hell yeah, he can. Tom Brady, look, I know you guys are going to be talking about the flags. You're going to be talking about all this. But they put up 30 points in each of the first 4 games. This offense was terrific. And I can't go without mentioning Mr. McNugget, Leonard Fournette. He ran like there was a McDonald's in his peripheral vision. He ran hungry. I was right on my football prediction. I was right on my X Factor. I knew Gronk was going to have a big game. I said that. I knew this team would out physical the Chiefs. I knew that. So basically what I'm saying is, yes, I owe some apologies to people. I was wrong about some things. I was disrespectful to our coach and our secondary. But I knew this team had it in them from day one, from week 8 when they were blown out by the Saints. I never gave up. You guys gave up. I didn't. And that's why I'm the GOAT. Not like Tom Brady, but I'm a different kind of GOAT.
I was actually, that was a very good. Up until you said you were the GOAT, that was a
Yeah.
very good analysis. That
No, it
moved
was-
it all, but it's fine. It's fine. I actually want to give. I'm not going to talk about the flags because I mean I actually don't agree with those flags, but it didn't matter. The Bucks were winning that game. Listen, I mean I'll be honest. I did not fully. I doubted a little bit Tom Brady. I mean I always thought he could be good, but I doubted his arm strength. But I said this was like a lot of potential on this team. I was like, this team could be really, really good. I don't know yet. We'll see. And the first 12 weeks, they did not put it together. Part of that was definitely, I agree, OTAs and a bunch of stuff, but it was other things too, which I don't feel like getting into because it doesn't matter now. Obviously, they won the Super Bowl, but Tom Brady threw more picks than touchdowns on deep balls. It honestly looked like a mess. But they turned it around and got it together after the bye. Extremely impressed with them. And that game right there, that Super Bowl game right there was everything that this team thought they could be and played at 100% all season, even against the Saints, against the football team and the Packers. They're very good. Not taking away their performance, that was not living up to their potential. They executed perfectly. Credit to all the coaches. Shout out to the 2 women coaches winning for the first time. Perfect game plan. Their defense was suffocating. Didn't need a blitz and got Mahomes. Mahomes ran for 497 yards, and they Buccaneers blitzed like twice, which is bonkers. By the way, this is separate issue. Mahomes. I mean, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans said it best. Man is from another planet. Man is
I don't know how Mahomes.
But he lost, and I actually don't blame him actually whatsoever for that loss. But either way, that's not important. Their offense came to play. Brady did what he was asked to do. Their whole team, their offense, perfect game plan, kept the Chiefs off balance, and the Chiefs. Honestly, sometimes it's not your day. First off, they're outplayed, but also just sometimes it's not your day. The discipline was a big issue in that first half. I thought if their discipline problems weren't in that first half not bad. This is a different game, but they probably still have lost anyway because that second half was suffocating.
I mean, I think on the
Can I say one quick thing, Jeremy? I don't think we as analysts talked enough about Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz being out on that Chiefs offensive line.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, I think that we absolutely did not talk about that. And I think the big thing that at least for me personally, I think that I want to give credit to the Bucks about is they beat Patrick Mahomes when he wasn't having a bad day. That's almost impossible to do, right? Like you see the entire year, like they basically hit their playbook during the regular season. They like barely tried. They were so much better than everyone else. And to destroy them in the Super Bowl, to have Patrick Mahomes' maybe biggest loss ever as a pro, to a team that had them down 24-7 when they played earlier in the season. Like just kind of goes to show you the amount Tom Brady can even change a team in like 7 weeks. Like I know Dan was home about it. I don't think I am going to be. This to me is what tells me that Tom Brady is not only the GOAT, but in my mind, I don't even know if it's close anymore. Like what other quarterback can go to an entirely different team in their first year, win? Yeah, I know. Yes, I know it was a stacked team. I'm not saying it wasn't a stacked team. I'm not saying there wasn't talent, but last year, a lot of these players were still on the team, and they didn't make the playoffs with Jameis Winston. Yeah, no, I'm not. Now, Jameis Winston isn't a great quarterback, but to go from not making the playoffs to win the Super Bowl in a year is an insane difference. And it just, the thing to me that's more insane even than how he plays. I think, like, if it purely play on the field, I think I'd still say, I don't know about this game, but overall, I'd still say Mahomes over Brady. But is that just how much better him being there makes the defense play is something that is insane to me. And yeah, and Dan, to your point about the O-line is that, yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely something that was important, but something that didn't really affect it before, but now kind of, as we saw, clearly affected it against the Bucs line.
Yeah, totally agree with Jeremy there. But I think Jeremy and Dan are drinking some of the same water because they both sucking Brady dick over there. But yeah, with all due respect, Tom Brady played his mind out. He completely surprised me. And I think that obviously, yeah, as you guys said, Mahomes did nothing wrong. He played the best he could with the situations, having no Mitch Schwartz or Eric Fisher on the tackles. And I feel like he was just, Ellis just said, he was running for days. Shaq Barrett, JPP, nice outside pressure. And the Chiefs really had no run game all year, but this was their most rush yards in the game this year, and this just didn't really help them out. Yeah, but in all honesty, respect to Tom Brady. He proved me wrong. He proved a lot of people wrong. But in my
You didn't prove me wrong, buddy. You didn't prove me wrong.
in all honesty, I do think the Chiefs, in my opinion, are still the favorites for next year, just because I don't see something like this happening again to the Chiefs, unless obviously injuries depend. But in my opinion, their team on paper is still better than the Bucks. And another head-to-head matchup, the Bucks will not win that game.
I mean, I hate doing those early predictions.
Yeah, it's way too early. Like,
but yeah, I think honestly right now, just the Chiefs, Bucks, Packers, and the Bills are the favorites for next year because they're the best set off. On Tom Brady, I mean, yeah, I hate the man. I think he's an awful person. I think most people realize he's an awful person now. But there's no denying his talent. He is no, that's not crime. He can be an awful person and still be the best, most skilled player of all time in your sport. Like that's totally my dislike for him doesn't take away my respect for him. And I think this did help his legacy a bit because I think a lot of people like me are coming to that conclusion. Yeah, we may dislike him. We may think he's a jerk. That said, we respect that he can play. Like he's the best player of ever in football. So I mean that I think this win did help his legacy.
Yeah. So again, you guys, we talk about the talent, and obviously there's a lot of different pieces that went into this team when Ndamukong Suh coming in, McNugget, Leonard Fournette coming in, Brendan Gronk, Antonio Brown, who all played a contributing factor in this win. But Tom Brady is a culture changer. We can still play the position as well as everybody, but maybe 3 players. But this is an organization that hadn't won a playoff game since 2002, hadn't been to the playoffs since 2007. He brought in a winning culture day in and day out. He showed them how to work. When he texted them before every player on the team before the Super Bowl at 11 p.m. every night, we're going to win. That's a culture changer. That's a leader. And I think he submitted himself as the greatest leader in professional sports. We know he's the greatest quarterback, but the greatest leader. And we talk about favorites. I just think it's
far from the greatest leader.
If I can respond to the greatest leader part,
who cares? He's the world's best.
My point is that about the greatest leader, he's a very, very good leader. And I know you're not going to like me saying this, but I don't see argument-wise how you can say he's a better leader than
There's no such thing as an argument. He's a top tier.
Well, I'm saying that to say he's clearly better than LeBron is not possible. Because LeBron's in the same thing where he's
LeBron doesn't need anybody else. He doesn't need anybody else.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Anyway, when I'm talking about favorites, I think when you look at the NFC next year, it is a complete mess. I think the Packers are still going to be a great team. I mean, they'll never make it to the Super Bowl. We all know that. But the Saints are 90 million over the cap. The 49ers should be good. The Seahawks, we could talk about Russell Wilson in a little bit, but he sounds like he's having some frustrations. The NFC East is garbage. 49ers don't have a quarterback. The AFC is stacked. Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Titans, Colts. Well, the Colts.
49ers can make some noise.
49ers,
Yeah.
they also don't have a quarterback.
I agree. I think barring
Jimmy G's a quarterback.
Jimmy G's a quarterback.
But Jimmy G's not staying around next year.
Okay, let's say Jimmy G stays around. He's still the worst quarterback in the division.
Exactly.
And you can't.
Yeah, but with that defense, they could make some noise.
I think they can make some noise, but I agree with Dan that as things stand right now, the Bucks are the Super Bowl favorite.
I didn't say that
from the NFC. That's
I didn't
from the
say that.
I
didn't say that. I said. I mean, I agree with that. But they're also Chris Godwin is also a free agent. Shaq Barrett's also a free agent. Levante David is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, assuming things stay the way they are, I think Bucks are Super Bowl favorites next year. But I think the 49ers should get a quarterback that could change that.
I think my point is that the NFC is anybody's game because if this offseason is so important because the AFC is so close at the top and the NFC is so mediocre right now that any one move, anyone who gets Deshaun Watson or a couple receivers that are elite, they are now they put themselves above the rest of the pack.
So after some gloating by Daniel, let's move on. All right, so let's hop off the QB carousel and talk a little bit about ads. Jeremy, do you have an ad for us this week?
Oh boy, I do. Normally on ads, I advertise some fun product aimed for the masses. We say funny jokes, maybe something kind of weird or quirky. My ad today is for a practice commonly seen done by Mandalorians, people from Star Wars, who essentially serve as bounty hunters. I am putting my bounty at $50 million a year. This man has, over the past 20 years, destroyed 230 entire teams. He has tortured defenses, making them suffer from painful demise. He has notably ended 7 teams wishing to be kings of all the land, most recently the Chiefs, Kansas City. He is a menace to all who walk and must be stopped. The bounty is so high because even the huge deal paid to Mahomes, Patrick, was not enough to stop him. And to me, it's personal. Among his worst victims have been my dear Jets, who have been tortured year after year. So for Big Dick Nick, and out of retirement Eli Manning, or whoever else may complete the mantle, Jacob on a good day, the pain will be completed after his downfall. To any that end him so badly he is forced to retire, the payment will be doubled. Thank you very much. I hope I can find a worthy adventurer to heed my calling.
Just to clarify, you just put a hit on Tom Brady's head.
It's more of a football game kind of hit, but yes, that is correct.
That was pretty good, Jeremy. I like that. All right.
Loving these Jacob Kaz and the Tom Brady comparisons over there.
Now it's on to our section where I don't want to call it the stuttering section. That feels a bit of a too pointed attack, but you know what? The audience, you guys have been here. You've seen it. You know what's coming. Wacky Sport of the Week. Let's go. I guess we got to do it. I mean, if we have to.
Thank you, Jeremy, for that hype up. And our Wacky Sport of the Week this week is, drumroll please, is Stones of Strength. And you know what? This is I got a big Wacky Sport of the Week list that I'm checking off here. And this one is based in Scotland, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It involves stones and strength. Oh wow, who would have thought? But yeah, it's based in Scotland, and the strongest people around the world come over and they pick up these massive stones. This ain't these little pebbles. This ain't Jeremy Boot Camp, baby. These are like massive, like stones. Like I can't explain it to you, but you can't see it because it's a podcast. But like they're very heavy. They weigh like up to like 50 kilos. Not that much, but they're very heavy. Trust me.
Think of it. It's like think of like 10 times what Ellis can carry. And like that's the stuff.
Honestly, probably more. But yeah, so they pick it up and it's a race. They pick up the stone and they have to hold it like hug it, and they walk across the finish line and they try to race it. It's kind of like it's kind of like that Dwayne the Rock Johnson, Zac Efron scene in what's that movie called? Damn it.
It's ironic when we're talking about stones and you mentioned Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Exactly. And yeah, so in Baywatch, it's like that scene. So they race and the best time wins. And it only takes place in Scotland. In this picture I'm looking at, they're wearing like little kilns and like skirts. It's very cute. It's very authentic. And there's actually a pretty big crowd in this picture. So yeah, very unique game and very fun. Probably not televised, but maybe you should take out, if you're in Scotland, maybe it's worth a watch. And so that's our Wacky Sport of the Week. And with that, let us move on to the conclusion of our podcast. Thank you.
How many times will Ellis mess up? What are the bets today?
Thank you, Jeremy.
I'm putting my money on 12.
Oh my God. Thank you. This is heresy, but okay. Thank you, Jacob. But yeah, so thank you for sticking with us for this whole episode. We really appreciate it. And episode 49. Next episode is episode 50. We got a very special guest. Talk about basketball for me. Talk about basketball to us. Talk about pretty much a bunch of honestly wacky sports, or non-mainstream sports is a better way of saying it. But it was really cool, and you should tune in, and that'll be our episode 50. And we thank you for sticking with us for 49 episodes. And next week I'll be thanking you for sticking with us for 50 episodes. All right, you know the drill. As always, follow our social media at wat.podcast. That's our Twitter, and our Instagram at wat.podcast. That's WOT.PODCAST. And Dan was on our Twitter, and he should be posting live updates and like
he'll post eventually. One of these days.
Eventually. If you're there, he'll post eventually. And our Instagram, go follow that. It needs more love. We do face shops. That's when we put faces on people, and it's fun. Yeah, I know, not photoshops to face shops, because I'm trademarking that. And yeah, and you'll always know when the next podcast is out. Plus, you can use our link in the bio and listen to our podcast on Spotify. Oh, as always, also go check out our YouTube and like, subscribe, turn on notifications bell, all that good stuff. I always forget what you have to do there, but you're well aware of I just look at our stats, and our audience 90% 45 to 6-year-olds. So maybe you don't know YouTube. So yeah, you gotta like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell button, share it with your friends on Facebook. I guess not Instagram, Facebook. So yeah, do that. And if you're the 10% of our age kids listening, bravo. And as always, listen to our podcast every platform other than Amazon. We're working on Amazon. We will get there. Do not worry. But yeah, listen to our podcast there. All right. I think that is all the announcements for today. Again, I'm going to remind you, check out next episode. It's going to be a really cool episode. Honestly, I'm not even capping, saying that might be our coolest episode yet, other than the Adam Lefko episode. So, as always, have a good week. Hope you stay safe. Hope you stay healthy. Hope you enjoy the podcast, episode 49, and goodbye.
Goodbye.